And welcome to another show. Well, the U.S. is enmeshed in a historic labor shortage. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a record-breaking 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs in August. What are they thinking? Well, workers and job seekers around the country are prioritizing higher wages and a healthier work-life balance. The labor shortage is even more acute in tech-related jobs, regardless of industry. Now, even before the pandemic, 87% of executives had concerns about filling empty positions. And according to McKinsey, and to further accelerate the trend toward democratizing career readiness, IBM is helping to link public education with the world of jobs, offering free curricula and coaching to students and aspiring professionals. Well, that's good to hear. So my special guest for this episode is IBM's Justina Nixon, IBM's VP and Global Head of Corporate Social Responsibility, Justina Nixon-Saintil. And she's going to talk about the digital skills gap and how companies can work with students and job seekers to prepare them for new technical roles. Welcome, Justina.
Thank you for having me.
Well, the company also provides paid apprenticeships, don't you, and internships to prospective employees. And these initiatives are part of the company's effort to skill something like 30 million people worldwide by 2030. Talk to us about some of the programs, if you would, Justina.
Yeah, so IBM has always been focused on what we call new collar jobs. These are opportunities for people to have meaningful employment without necessarily needing a 4-year degree. So it's to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background or their education, they have multiple pathways and options for jobs and careers. So when we made that commitment to skill 30 million people by 2030, there are a number of programs that we are focused on that support that commitment. And one of them is our apprenticeship program, which we launched in 2017, where we provide paid apprenticeship opportunities to candidates who learn about software development, cybersecurity, and project management. But we have a number of other programs that focus mainly on societal impact, on reaching people who need the right skill sets for the right job. And one of those programs is SkillsBuild.
SkillsBuild. Well, it sounds interesting. Is it more of a hands-on style of work effort?
Well, it can be both, right? So we offer it through a platform called skillsbuild.org, but we also partner with nonprofit organizations on the ground who are benefiting the people in their communities. So they're able to bring the training and the opportunities at connections to jobs to those in their communities, especially those who've been historically left out of the tech field. So we offer over 1,000 free courses in everything from data analytics, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, but we also bring the softer skills as well, critical thinking, collaboration, presentation skills, because we know that without those skills, you're not going to be successful in the workplace.
Very much so. Good old IBM connecting classroom with career in the public education system. And I mean, 10 years ago, IBM and educators, you created P-TECH. That was Pathways in Technology, Early College, High School, a public education model that still addresses the high school tech gap. That was wonderful. Then STEM fields, industry partners like IBM provide mentorships and internships, as you say. But this new collar career pathways, this IBM apprenticeship program, you're saying that it enables aspiring technology professionals to learn while they earn. So this allows them to take IBM courses, earn college credit, work on real-world projects, which is critical, and they get to shadow mentors, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a 12 to 24-month program that pairs apprentices with IBM mentors, and they work on actual IBM projects, and it's completely paid for, by IBM. So we've invested over $65 million into apprenticeship talent since 2018. And we've had over 1,000 apprentices.
Well, let me ask you this, Justina. What does the jobs landscape look like for employers, students, and prospective employees overall?
So when you look at the landscape, you have the significant skills gap that we talked about, right? Especially in technology fields. And there's definitely this workplace skills mismatch. You have employers that are saying that there, a lot of openings and they're not able to find the right people for the jobs. But then you have prospective employees who don't have the right digital and tech skills to be able to move into those jobs. So you do have that mismatch. When we look at cybersecurity, for example, there are around 500,000 unfilled cybersecurity jobs today. So there has always been this skills gap, especially in the STEM areas, STEM-related careers. But then when you also look at prospective employees, there's been what we consider to be untapped talent, people in communities that are usually underrepresented and under-resourced, and there's huge opportunity for growth in those communities. So employers also have to focus on that untapped talent and make sure that they have access to these free or low-cost opportunities to gain career readiness skills.
Mm-hmm. Well, IBM doing it again to help learners and businesses together. What are some of the ways schools and companies, though, can help address these issues together? What can they do?
Yeah, so schools and other companies can band together, right? Because you can't do this alone. You really need private-public partnerships. You need a coalition of companies that are invested in the community with you as well. Mm-hmm. So we partner with high school districts, with community colleges, with nonprofit organizations, with civic organizations to make sure they know these resources are available and that companies like ours can help support their needs, from teacher training to job seeker support, and to making that connection to jobs as well, making sure that employers are open to hiring people with a credential or an associate's degree and providing them with the opportunity at a meaningful job. So you really need all of these companies to come together and agree on how we're going to support the community and how we can, partner with school districts and with nonprofit organizations to do so.
So what is it, do you think, that these new approaches do things differently than in the past? And why do they show so much promise?
Yeah, I think when you look at some of the newer technologies, you have to make sure that you're not leaving swaths of the population behind, right? So for companies that are the cutting edge of technology, when you look at cybersecurity, hybrid cloud, even quantum, which is a technology that's growing, and we'll hear more about it in the future, we have to make sure that people's skill sets continue to evolve to be able to work in the fields where these technologies are, disrupting society and disrupting corporations, mm-hmm. and they need to continue to be lifelong learners to be successful in those fields. So I think there's this idea that you don't just learn something once and done. You have to continue to upskill and reskill yourself so you know how to work and be successful in the tech field.
Yeah.
You also have this idea of customized training with nonprofits, where you can't just build a standalone one-off program. You really have to work with the community and work with nonprofits to make sure you are reaching learners who need the support and who need that customized approach. So I think that's very important as well.
Well, a lot of great news. It reminds me, though, of the 80s and 90s where there were lots of boys and girls that mightn't have had degrees, but they were very streetwise and very experienced, sales, marketing positions, all sorts of representative jobs. But you know what? All they ever wanted was the bachelor's degree again and these other degrees. And when they did get these guys and women, they didn't know a thing to do. Now you're looking at this century and the 2021s and onwards, and it's the tech sphere. So, listeners, you can do things to encourage here. I mean, the community organizations, policymakers, they all need help. And if you go to skillsbuild.org, it's all one word, skills, SKILLSBUILD, skillsbuild.org, you can read an awful lot about this. And as Justina has explained, there's a lot of terrific stuff. You can tell your children, tell your nephews, tell your grandchildren what's going on. I mean, Justina, it's an exciting time, really, for youth of today if they just put their head down and do it, right?
It is. And, what's great today that I don't think was available in the past are options. They have options now, and to be able to access a platform and within 3 months, be able to get a credential or badge that they can use to get employment. I think that is significant, and that's going to help a lot of people.
Fantastic. Well, you're doing a marvelous job. Thank you, Justina Nixon-Saintil, IBM Vice President and Global Head of Corporate Social Responsibility. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. And don't forget those two addresses. You're welcome, dear. P-TECH.org. That's another one, P-TECH.org, and SkillsBuild.org.